Hi guys. Okay, so this tutorial is going to be an eyebrow tutorial. So as you can see, I do have some eyebrows to work with. However, I do have a lot of sparse area here in the front of both brows. So I'm going to share with you guys a little eyebrow tutorial using two of my favorite products, both of which are by Unique and both of which you can find at rayacoleman.com or in the comments of this. So the first one is the brow pencil in the shade medium, is the shade that I use. Also comes in light and dark. Super easy to use. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you how to use this by itself for one brow, and then I'm going to show you how to use the Brow Obsession palette. This also comes in light, medium, and dark. I'm using, again, the medium palette, but I love this because it comes with two powders, two highlights, and the pomade. So I'm going to show you how to use this. So first, with the brow pencil, super easy. What I like to do is kind of start here where I do have a lot of the brow hair and start pulling backwards. Now, I love this pencil because the tip is super small. It retracts, so you never have to worry about sharpening it. And you're just gonna go back to the arch, and then you're just gonna start to pull straight down through the tail. Underneath, same start point, and then you're very light-handedly going to just etch a little line underneath until you get to the arch, and then again, back into the tail to elongate the brow. Now, this is the fun part. Now you're gonna start at the front of the brow, and you're just going to make a very light line that goes upward to where your brow is gonna start. A good starting point is gonna be where your tear ducts is. That's where you know where to draw it. So you're just gonna etch a very light line up, and then we're going to complete the shape of our brow and connect it to where we had started the brow. Now underneath, same exact thing, we're just going to etch a very light line to connect the whole brow. And now, super easy, we all know how to color in the lines. That's exactly what you're gonna be doing with this, coloring in the lines. Now you don't need to overdraw your brow. However, for the parts that there are no hair, that is where you're gonna be essentially overdrawing. So that is where you are gonna have to have a little bit of confidence, but don't worry, I'm gonna show you an easy way to clean up the brow as you learn. Everyone makes mistakes. I make mistakes all the time with doing my brows. Sometimes I make them way too thick, and I'm gonna show you how to fix that. So now you're just gonna kind of fill in any sparse area that you see to make your brows look bold and beautiful, and that is how you fill in your brow using the brow pencil, and again, the shade medium. You can also use the spoolie end to comb through the brow hair to get it all kind of moving in the right direction. This will actually also soften the brow look. So like I said, if you did mess up or your brows are looking a little thick, you can take your skin perfecting concealer that we used on our under eye. This is in the shade Organza that I'm using, and I'm gonna use the Brow Artist brush. I love this brush. And we're gonna use the flat-ended side of this. We're gonna pick up some of that concealer, and now wherever you feel like you did get a little too crazy or it looks a little too thick, you're just gonna take that flat end and you are just going to magic erase. Have no fear, concealer is here. So that is how I do my brows using the brow pencil. To use the Brow Obsession palette, you're gonna want the Brow Obsession palette, but you're also going to want to grab the Brow Artist brush. These two things are best friends. Don't split them up. You're gonna need them together. So as you can see, one is done, one is not. So to use this, you're gonna use the angled side, and the first thing you're gonna do is right here, you're gonna dip it into the pomade. This is going to make the angled side of this tiny little brush a little bit more moist to be able to pick up the powder very evenly and nicely. So you get two powder options. I reach for the darker one just because my brows are naturally that color, but I love that each palette comes with two choices. So once you get that powder onto the angled side, you're just gonna start here where I actually have brow hair, and you're just very easily going to just start working your way back through the mid of the brow, and then when you get to the tail, I'm gonna flip it to its side and just elongate the brow hair. So this is just gonna fill in any sparse area. Now I'm gonna go back for a little bit more, and we're going to start defining the brow. So again, at the top, you're just going to get to the arch, and then you're working your way down, and then underneath, just gonna very lightly draw that under. So now that we have our middle of our brow defined, now for the fun part, we're gonna pick up a little bit more, and now we're gonna flip it to the angled side is facing downward, and we're gonna very lightly etch a little line up the front and then connect it along the top hopefully you guys can see this, along the top and then along the bottom. And now we're gonna pick up a little bit more, and we're just gonna start filling in the sparse area, just like so. Just to thicken and make your brows look a little more bold. And that is how I fill in my brows using the Brow Obsession palette. And now you can go through and just kind of make them a little bit more bolder, a little more thicker, and then you can always clean it up using our little concealer trick. So just depending on your preference, whether you like doing your brows with the pencil or the pomade and powder, totally your call. I prefer to mostly use the pencil for an everyday, but if I am doing a full glam, or if I'm just wanting my brows to look a little more bold, or if you don't have a lot of brow hair and you're fully drawing them on, I would probably stick with the brow palette, just because this will last a little bit longer than the pencil would, or you can use them together, outline your brows with this, fill it in with this. So many different options. And again, if you need help picking out your shade of powder or pencil, don't hesitate, email me, message me. I would love to help you guys. And the link is in the comments, or you can just go to rayahopebeauty.com. So happy drawing on your brows.